Have you ever found yourself just staring at a massive pile of information? Could be anything, emails, research papers, or thinking about HR, maybe thousands of job applications. It just feels
Yeah.
overwhelming, right? All that sifting, just trying to find the needle in the haystack. But what if there was like a shortcut, a way to automate that, streamline the whole complex process, but with, incredible precision?
Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to dive into. We're unpacking how a big tech company, Snowflake, is using some really cutting edge AI, specifically large language models, LLMs, to totally transform how they screen talent. And it's not just about speed, is it? It's more about making smarter, more consistent hiring decisions.
Exactly. So our mission today for you listening is to really trace the entire workflow of this pretty innovative system. We'll follow a resume right from the moment it's uploaded, see how it gets automatically parsed, evaluated by these powerful LLMs, all the way to creating that final shortlist of candidates. The goal is, by the end of this, you'll have a really clear picture of the components, the specific bits involved, and the huge impact this kind of automation is having.
Okay, so how does Snowflake actually pull this off? Let's start at the beginning. That first hurdle for HR, turning this chaotic pile of resumes into something structured, something a machine can actually read. What's that initial step?
Right. So the very first thing is setting up what they call a stage for uploads. You can think of it like a secure digital Dropbox, basically,
Hmm.
a designated spot within Snowflake where resumes, PDFs, DOCX files can be safely dropped off, ready for processing. It's like setting up an inbox, but one built for handling loads and loads of files securely.
Got it. So the files land securely in that staging area. But then the next step is converting them, right? Because like you said, a raw PDF, well, it's not exactly AI friendly on its own, is it? How do they get processed into a format that's actually usable?
Yeah, that's where tools like Snowpipe or even just a manual copy process come into play. These components essentially automate loading those files from the stage into what's called a landing table. This basically creates a neat, organized record for every single resume. It stores metadata, the file name, where it's located securely. It's that vital step from just having a pile of documents to having structured data that the next stages can actually work with.
Okay, so resumes are in the system, metadata is logged. Now for the really interesting bit, getting the actual content out. This is where Snowpark, Python, UDFs, user-defined functions come in. And just for everyone listening, UDFs are basically custom bits of Python code that Snowflake can run directly on the data, right? They let you do complex stuff beyond standard SQL.
That's exactly it. A Snowpark Python UDF is specifically deployed here to extract and clean the text from each resume. So for PDFs, it might use a library like Pymo PDF. The function opens the file, reads the content, and then spits out all the text in a clean, usable string. The key thing here isn't just that it extracts text, but how it prepares it. This process ensures the LLMs get really high-quality, normalized input, and that's absolutely crucial for accurate evaluations later on. It avoids all those messy parsing problems you often get otherwise.
That sounds like a pretty powerful transformation right there. So now we've got the raw, clean text from every resume. It's ready for the LLMs. And this is where the LLM prompt engine really starts to work its magic, doing several key evaluations. What's the first type of analysis it performs on this text?
So the first main job for the LLM is extracting core skills. Imagine a resume mentioning things like developing scalable back-end services or maybe optimizing database queries. A simple keyword search might completely miss the nuance there. But the LLM, guided by a specific prompt, can read through that text and pull out the relevant skills, say Python, SQL, AWS. The real insight, I think, is the LLM's ability to understand the context. It can infer related skills, going way beyond just matching keywords. That's where older systems often fall down. It gives you a much richer, more nuanced understanding of what a candidate can actually do. Less chance of missing someone great just because they didn't use the exact right keyword.
That is a huge step up. Okay, so it pulls out the skills. What's the next big way the LLM improves the screening? Is it just like sorting candidates into general categories, or is it more sophisticated?
Well, much more sophisticated. The next step is role matching. You can actually give the LLM some examples. For instance, tell it knows Power BI points towards a data analyst role, or maybe built Python pipelines, suggests data engineer. Then you feed it the resume text, and it intelligently suggests the most suitable role based on the content. This leverages techniques like zero-shot, few-shot, or even chain-of-thought prompting.
Right. Could you maybe quickly break down what those prompting techniques mean for anyone less familiar with LLMs?
Sure, absolutely. Think of it like this. Zero shot means the LLM figures it out without needing any specific examples. For this task, it uses its general knowledge. Few shot is where we give it maybe just a handful of examples to steer it in the right direction, like a quick mini tutorial. And Chain-a-thon is pretty cool. It's where we guide the LLM to break down a complex problem into logical steps, helping it reason its way to an answer more effectively. These techniques let the LLM grasp the intent and context, not just look for keywords. It can accurately map diverse skills and experiences to specific job roles, even if the resume doesn't explicitly mention the target job title.
That's really fascinating how much intelligence you can pack into those prompts.
Okay, and then the final crucial question for HR teams. Should we interview this person? How does the LLM handle that decision point? Well, the LLM gets what's called an interview finalization prompt. It's a very specific instruction that guides its decision based on everything it's already figured out, the extracted skills, the matched role. The system then filters for candidates where the LLM's decision is, for example, yes. This is where you get that truly automated, consistent initial screen. I mean, we've all seen situations where manual screening maybe unconsciously overlooks a really strong candidate, maybe because of volume or just fatigue setting in. This kind of system really helps level the playing field. It removes that human variability. So you might see, for instance, someone like Sri Sivakumar, identified as a data engineer with Python, SQL, Snowflake skills, gets shortlisted, whereas maybe Akash V, a backend developer with Java skills, might not be for that specific role based purely on those defined criteria.
Right, makes sense. And all these different evaluations, they end up in a final table, which holds the shortlisted candidates. So this table becomes the kind of the central output for the HR team.
Exactly. A new table, maybe called shortlisted candidates, gets created. It stores the essential info, the file name, the role the LLM matched, the core skills it pulled out, and crucially, that final yes-no decision from the LLM. Then, only the data for those candidates the LLM recommended for shortlisting gets inserted into this table from the earlier stages. It results in a clean, actionable list for HR.
And just to close the loop, once that smart list is generated, how does it actually get to the HR team efficiently so they can, take the next steps?
Yeah, good point. The system can optionally be set up to schedule notifications for HR. This usually involves creating a task within Snowflake itself. That task can then trigger external services. Think automated notifications email, maybe SMS, or even a Slack message, basically letting recruiters know, hey, a new batch of vetted, shortlisted candidates is ready for you to look at. It creates a really seamless handoff from the automated part to the human engagement part.
So if we kind of recap the big aha moments from this deep dive, it's really clear that this Snowflake system, powered by LLMs, enables genuine end-to-end automation for talent screening. It very cleverly ingests, parses, evaluates, and then shortlist resumes. It effectively takes away those really tedious manual screening tasks. And what's also really impressive is how scalable and modular it seems. It's designed to grow easily, adapt to maybe new prompts or different resume styles without breaking, all while bringing that AI-driven consistency to hiring.
And you look at the bigger picture, this specific application really empowers HR professionals. It's quite significant. It frees them up from that repetitive, time-guzzling manual work. This allows them to focus on the things humans are best at, right? Engaging with candidates, conducting meaningful interviews, building relationships, the things that really shape company culture. So it's not just about efficiency gains, though those are there. It drives real business value, speeding up hiring, improving the quality of the talent pool, and potentially lowering the cost per hire. It's really a prime example of an organization leaning into a data-driven, AI-enabled culture. And that brings us to a pretty powerful concluding thought from the source material we looked at. What used to take 10 recruiters in 3 days now takes one Snowflake pipeline and a prompt. It sums it up well. The future of hiring is not just smart, it's automated, explainable, and human-aligned.
That is definitely a significant leap. It really makes you think. As this kind of technology continues to develop, how might we see it reshaping other processes, other areas that are traditionally very human intensive, not just in HR, but across different business functions, or maybe even in your own day-to-day work? And thinking further ahead, what sort of new roles might actually emerge because of this powerful automation? Something to ponder, definitely.